Welcome students. So students, today we are going to understand about the string slicing. So what exactly is a string slicing? Before we understand about a string slicing, we are going to take some more examples of string indexing, which we had done in the last class. But let us understand it in a much better way. So as you know that we can access the characters of a string using the index value. If I take a value that is a, I mean a variable a, and the value is maybe sunbeam, okay, that's the string value. So I can actually access the characters of the string using a simple for loop. So if I say for I in range and not range, I can directly say for I in a, okay, a which is the variable, and then I can simply say print I. So what is going to happen out here is I is going to access each value from, I mean each character from this particular string. Okay, so I initially will get the character that is S, and then it is going to print the S, then it is going to get U, then N, then B, E, A, M, and so on. So it is going to print the characters on a separate line because we are using the print statement. So after printing the character, it is going to come to this next line, right? So if I run this particular code, what is going to happen out here is, you can see sunbeam, that's the output. So how many iterations this for loop is going for, it depends on the length of the string. And what is the length of the string? So the length of the string is the number of characters in the string. I can simply use the len function and pass the variable a. So what this is going to do is it is going to display the length of the character, that is the length of the string, that is the number of characters in the string. So how many characters do we have in this particular string? That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. 7 characters. So this is going to print 7. So since the length of this particular string is 7, the number of iterations that this particular loop is going to have is 7. Okay. So this was one of the way by which we can access the characters from the string and we can display it. Or we can perform any operation that we want. Any kind of checking if you wanted to. Another way was using the indexing. As I have said it in the previous class that the index value starts from 0. Okay, so this is the 0th index value, which is S, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So this is the forward indexing, which starts from 0 and ends at 6. So total 7. So if you really go for the forward indexing, it will start from 0. And if you go for the backward indexing, so the backward indexing starts from the last character, that is -1. So this is -1, -2, -3, -4, -5, -6 and -7. That is backward indexing. Okay, so if I just remove this particular loop and I will remove this print statement also, so this is just simply going to print the length of the string. So I can access the character using the index value as well. So if I say print and then I say a of, and I only pass the number 2. Okay, so do we have that index value 2? So that is 0, 1 and 2. So what is the character? That is n. So let me just run this and you can see that we have the output that is n, right? If I give this as 5, so this was 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. So that is what? That is a. And here you can see we have that character a onto the console. So that's the output, right? So using that index value, we can access the characters. So I can simply use a for loop for I in range, and I will simply use that len function and a. So this particular len function is going to generate the number 7. So this is range 7. So if this is range 7, so this is going to start from 0 and go to 6, and those are the index values, right, of this particular string. I will say colon, and now I have to simply say, print I, but print I is only going to print the index value, that is 0 to 6. Now this time I is going to have the numbers, that is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6, and not the characters. If this would have been for I in A, in that case I will get the characters, but over here this is a range function that we are using, so I is going to have the values 0 to 6. Now if I have to print the characters, what I need to do, I need to use that index value. So I will say A, that is the name of the variable, then the square brackets, and then the closing square bracket. So in between, that is I out here. So what will be the initial value of I? The first value of I is going to be 0. So this will print A of 0. And what is the character that we have at the 0th index? That is S. Then I is going to be 1. It will print A of 1 out here. So that is U and so on. So now we are going to have the same output. S, U and B, E, A, M. So this is like, using that indexing, I have accessed the character, and before that what I did was directly accessing the characters and printing it. Both are for loops. Okay, so this is how we can access the values. Now let us understand the what is string slicing. Okay, string slicing. And one more point that I just left out, that was, if you try to access, if I say a of 6, so this is going to print what? This is going to print, that is M. Why? Because that's the last index value. But if I give something like 7 and I try to run this, you can see there is an index, the index error. Why we have this error is because the index value 7 does not exist, because this starts from 0 and goes only till 6. If this would have been one more character out here, then this would have been okay, because there is a index value at 7, we have some character, but this is going to throw an error because this index value 7 does not exist. Okay, so just remember this also. Now let us move to string slicing. So how we can slice a string into two, that is what we are going to understand. So I can simply use the print statement, and then I use the variable a, then the opening and closing brackets, the square brackets, and then if I say 0 colon, okay, that's the syntax, 0 colon, and then I say 2, or let me just give 6 out. So if I say 0, so this is a range. Actually, I'm providing a range of index. So it starts from 0, goes till 6. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. But if you run this particular code, we are going to have, so we are actually only accessing a part of the string. This is what we are trying to do. So if I run this, what is going to happen? We are going to have S, U, and B, E, A, and M is missing. Why M is missing? Is because this, whatever you specify, this is the low value, and this is the high value. Okay, so if you specify 6, so this is going to be 6 minus 1, just like what we have in just like the range function. Okay, so this is going to be 6 minus 1, that is 5. So this is 0, that is S, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, so if I change that start value and I make this as 2, so this is going to start from the second index, the index value 2, I mean to say, not second, the index value 2. So this will be 0, 1, and 2. So that is what N, and this is 6. So this is going to go till 5. So 2, 3, 4, and 5. So this is what we are going to have, N, B, A, E, N, A. So you can see the output. This is the output that we have, N, B, E, A. Okay, so we are just trying to access a part of the string. We are slicing the string actually. There is one more value that you can pass. If I say, 0 out here, and now I will pass out here 7. So if I say 7, what is going to happen? If I pass 7, this is going to be 7 minus 1, that is 6. Okay. Okay, before I just tell you about that third thing also, let me just tell you, if this is 7, So we are going to have the output that is complete string, that is 17. But if I specify something like 8, now you might think that it is going to throw an error, but this is not going to throw an error. In Python, in that case, it is going to consider till the end of the string. Even if that index value does not exist, it will simply take, the end of the string, that is till m. In fact, if I make this as 10, even that is not going to affect. We are going to have the same output. So if you specify the high value, I mean the starting and the starting and the end. The end value, you specify something, you specify index value that does not exist, still it is going to give you an output. It is not going to throw an error. Okay, please keep this point in your mind, otherwise during the exam it will confuse you a lot. Now let us just go. If I make this as 7, and over here one more value I can pass. I mean, not passing the value, I would not use the word passing the value, I specify the value, and that is 1. So if I specify 1, which means it will start from 0 and take a jump of 1. By default it takes a jump of 1 itself. Okay, but if I make this as 2, so this will take the jump of 2. So it starts from 0 and then it will skip one character. So it will 0, 2, 4 and 6. This is how it is going to go. And the output that we are going to have is, see, 0 started from S, then it will jump to, so that is N. So we have this S and N out here. Then we are going to have one more skip, jump of 2, so that is E, and then a last jump, that is for M. Okay, this is a bit confusing, but you need to practice on this. So it is going to take the jump, that many jumps it is going to take. Okay, now we can also use the backward indexing as well. So backward indexing, if I really want to go, so I will start from -7. So why? Because this is -1, -2, -3. Okay, from backward indexing starts from -1. So -1, -2, -3, -4, -5, -6 and -7. So this is the beginning, that is S, and then I can simply specify colon and leave it blank. Okay, you can also leave it blank. Suppose if I start from 0, that is the forward indexing, and leave this as blank, still I'm going to have that complete string. You can see out here. If I don't specify 0 also, and I have run this, still we are going to have the same output. So if you do not pass any value, so by default this will be taken as 0, and the end value, if I do not specify, it is going to go till the end of the string. If I specify 2 out here, so it is going to start from the second index, that is from N, and it will go till the end of the string. Okay, so please remember this also. So if I don't specify at the beginning and I specify something like 10 out here, so what output we are going to have? By default, I did not pass anything, so it is going to start from 0. And this is 10, so by default anyway it is going to go till end of the string. So we are going to have again the same output. So students, this is something that you really need to practice. Okay, string slicing. It is not really that confusing, but just you have to spend some time onto it. At least 2-3 days. You have to take some examples and practice. You have to give your own values and then just check the output. Okay. Then coming back to that, backward indexing. So backward indexing, if I start from -7, so that is the value S. Okay, and over here if I specify a positive number, then this is not going to display anything, because what I'm trying to do is I'm starting from 7 and then this is a 0, that is a forward indexing value, so that is same as, so this is going to give an empty string. So if I specify something like -1 out here, so now what I'm going to have is S, U, N, B, E, A and M is missing, because that this is -1, and as I said, this is going to go one less, so it is going to have till A. Now I cannot give 0 out here as what I did before. So what I can do, I can simply leave this blank, and now I'm going to have that complete string. So it starts from the first, that is -7, goes till the end. Okay, one more thing that we can do, is, suppose if I leave this also blank, so obviously I'm going to have the same output, and then the third value that I can pass or specify is -1. Okay, now this is interesting. By default this is 1, which is a positive number, so it is going to go, from 0 1 2 3 4 and 5. But if I use -1, what this will do is this is going to reverse that particular string. So now if I run this, and now there is an interesting output. We have, see, the entire string has been reversed. So if I specify -1, so what is going to happen is we're going to have M, then A, E, B, N, U, S, and that string has been reversed. If I specify -2 out here, what is going to happen? There is a jump of 2 in a backward way. So the output that we are going to have is MENS, and that's mens. Okay, so that is M, it started from M, then A will get skipped, then E, then this B will get skipped, that is S will get printed, and at the last U will get skipped, and then S. Right? Now, if you can remember that in the previous class, we did a program that was for checking whether a string is palindrome or not. And that what we did is we calculated the length of the string, then we divided the length by 2, and then we checked the 0th index with the last index, then the second index with the second last, right? And this is what we did actually. And that was using a loop as well. But using this technique, we can actually check whether a string is or whether a word is palindrome or not. How we can do that? Simply I can use a if statement, and I can say A and simply specify a colon, which means that it is going to be a complete string. Or I can simply say A also is okay, A equal to, and then I can say A again, specify that colon, and then the third value, first is, that start value is empty, end value is also empty, but the jump value I'm going to specify this as -1. So if I say -1, again this is going to reverse that string, and A, which is going to represent this string, so this is sunbeam equal to reverse of sunbeam. So is this particular string palindrome? This is not a palindrome, right? So I'm going to specify this as equal to, and now if I print something like the string is palindrome, and else I'm going to give a else part to this particular if statement, and I'm going to say the string is not, it is not a palindrome, right? Now let us run this and let's see what output we have. The string is not a palindrome. That's perfect because this is not a palindrome. But if I give this like Nitin, now this is a palindrome, right? Nitin and Nitin. So even if I reverse this, we're going to have the same value. Now if I run this, the string is a palindrome. That's the perfect output. So you can see how using the strings slicing we have checked whether a word is palindrome or not. Okay, now student, this is looks like very simple to you since it is happening in front of you in a video, but this is not really that easy. It will take some time for you to make yourself perfect into the string slicing. So I want you to please go through the video, rewind it, practice it. This is very, very important for you. Okay. So what we have learned today is we have learned about the uh, string slicing. Just that we have some time, what we're going to do is let us understand few methods of the string. So string methods. What are methods? Methods are the functions of a class which belongs to the string. Okay, they are like function, just like the len function, the print function. Even these are methods. These are functions which belongs to the string class. Means they can only used with the strings. Okay, these methods can be only used with a string. So the one of the most simplest, easy to understand method is, if I say that A is equal to, and that's the name Nitin, then what I'm going to do is I will simply print A, and how to use that method, please see to it. Dot. Okay, A dot. What is A string variable. So basically that it belongs to a string class. Okay, dot, and then I can access the method, and the method I'm going to access is A L P H A. That's it, and opening and closing bracket. So this is going to check. So A dot is alpha. So it's going to check whether this string only has alphabets or not. Okay, I repeat. This is going to check whether the string only have alphabets or not. As in this case, it has only the alphabets. So what is going to happen? It is going to give, this particular method is going to return true. It is going to give the answer true. But if I have something like Nitin 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, in this particular string, there are alphabets as well as digits. Now, if I run this, you can see it is going to give false. So, if I have to check whether a string only has alphabets, that's the program you have to do. So, how I can do that? I can simply use if a dot is, that is alpha, means alphabet, okay, colon, print, and then I can say, so if this alpha is alpha returns true, this particular if statement is going to be true, right? Then I can print that the string only has alphabets, right? And print something like, the string does not or has other values or other characters other than alphabet, something of that sort. You can give the message. So the string is not valid, I will say is not valid. So I'm basically checking if it is only having alphabet or not. Okay, so now if I run this, what we're going to have, we're going to have the output that the string is not valid. Why? Because this particular if statement is going false, because this is alpha is returning a false. So if becomes false, the else part gets executed, right? So this is alpha. And one more I'm going to tell, and then the rest of the things we're going to do tomorrow. If the string only has digits, so if I say is digit, and that's the name of the method. So is digit, is alpha. Do not type is alphabet. Alphabet does not exist. Is alpha. That's the name. You have to type exactly that same name of the method. So this is now is digit. The string only has digits. Okay, now if I run this, what is going to happen? That this particular string, you can see the string only has digit, means this particular method is true. Why it is true? Because this string only has numbers. But if I even if I place one character a, this is going to go false. See, the string is not valid this time. Okay, so what we are going to do is, again tomorrow we're going to talk about is alpha, is digit, and the other methods also we're going to take in my next class. So today children, what you're going to do is you're going to work on the string slicing, and then just this last activity that I've shown you about is alpha and is digit, you can go ahead and practice it. Tomorrow again I'm going to repeat this, the is alpha, is digit, and then we're going to go and understand the other methods as well. Okay, so please go ahead and practice it. Bye for now.